Hello, and welcome to my spoken word channel. My name is Stephen Lackey, but like any other label, that name is simply a collection of letters that make sounds to convey meaning, a meaning which may have varying connotations for those who voice and or hear it. The spoken word is much the same, its effect ranging from dissonance to resonance, apathy to revulsion, sometimes even to the same person over time. I'll be reading some of my own work today, offering analysis of its meter, rhyme scheme, and content. If you find it appealing, heartening, or evocative, or even not worth remembering, please consider the aforementioned variability of response. Words, much the same as attitudes, friendships, and even the air we breathe, may teach us, transform us, or pass uninspiringly in this moment, but the next is yet to be defined. Herein are my copyrighted works, all rights reserved, but please forget the name and remember the message. Also, feel free to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Today's piece is called Friends with the Dust. I am friends with the dust that oft whispers in the quiet room's wandering sun. One might mark the room unkempt and lonely, needing clangor and luster to numb. But they're detailed in its myriad journeys, bearing unquenched yet patient desires. I see nods to myself, wayward pinpricks, the unnoticed amidst others' lives. I am friends with the dust that has settled, bidden long for that something to touch. One might sweep it away, labeled nuisance for a presence they feel asks too much. Yet it won't badger, nor envy, nor pilfer. It won't argue, nor chastise, nor sour. It just sits for a borrow of moments, most unbothered if those stretched to hours. I am friends with the dust they've forgotten, long since polished, as once was aspired, a bold sheen most presentably empty, as if that held some notion of pride. But I can't grasp at a memory's fadings, nor new dust as it just flies away. So I'll wander in wonder and harbor wraiths of friendships not meant to remain. This piece has a uniquely organized and rigid rhythmic structure. It is a ballad in anapestic trimeter with a hexameter feel owing to nearly ubiquitous pauses every 2 lines. Lines 2 and 4 rhyme, but lines 1 and 3 do not, i.e. an ABCB pattern, the distinction of the ballad style. In each stanza, lines 1 and 3 also end in an added soft stress, essentially a stuttered beat if the hexametric feet were to be spoken grammatically, but directly forcing a line-end pause to emphasize the ballad style. Further, each grouping of 2 stanzas is separated by a conjunction, further stuttering the rhythm. The breaks are purposeful in this piece, hearkening to moments which give us pause in life, meta pun intended. Each 2-stanza grouping begins with the title, iterates a perspective of the narrator, and is contrasted after the added pivotal conjunctions. The first grouping refers to how everyone is on a journey that, when viewed as a whole, seems a bustle, each straining for a moment in the sun that itself journeys. The contrast refers to how one can see things globally while at the same time reflecting on individual aspects, perhaps resonant with one's individual experience as an NPC in most everyone else's lives. The second grouping refers to connections made between individuals and how sometimes the specific intersection of each person's timeline may discourage harmony. The contrast refers to the benefits of patience in such instances, the serenity proffered by allowing a connection to settle in, and the time dilation when the beauty of those moments is realized. The third grouping is a metastructure that is at once self and externally referential. The narrator knows themselves to have let go of connections, just as they have been cast off at times, such losses irrespective of mutual growth and resonance. The contrast refers to the understood fallacy of living in the past, but also the jaded nature of aging when, by anticipated regret, we would thwart further connection as burdensome ghosts accumulate, not unlike the dust in the unkempt room of the first grouping. Intersecting timelines can have meaning we assign or happen upon, and there is beauty in the dissonance and resonance, the tragedy of inevitable dissolution, the melancholy of moving on, all of it, all so beautiful. If each of us is a wandering speck in the infinite, a moment in the sun, a settling by chance, then breezed or swept away, I think it's important to recognize that beauty. Thank you for joining me today. I hope it has been some mix of enlightening, entertaining, and thought-provoking, and if not, well, perhaps another time. You could have spent it any number of ways, but I sincerely appreciate that you've chosen to spend this time listening to phrases I have turned. I'd like to hear your thoughts as well. Drop a comment below regarding what your own or someone else's creative writing or spoken word has meant to you. Also, subscribe to my channel if you like. I'm not sure how often I'll be posting, but if you click the notification bell, you'll be among the first to know when I do. Please also consider this. You never know someone else's situation, but despite anything you may be dealing with, you can be a hand to hold, a smile to brighten, or a kind word for another. And there is no limit. You will never run out. Spend and spend and spend your love, and then spend some more, and then look at your still full purse. Such a beauty is love that when you realize, finally, that you were not spending, but sharing, when you realize all the lives that you touched and were thence touched in turn, you'll never have felt so full with still more to share. Start today. Embody the strength. Find a voice. Be heard.